Abuja Network Center, but it's just that there will be a bit of infusion of instinct in it. You know, insecurity or security and economy have some kind of cordial relationship. Secured environment, see that the economy will boom, there will be production, and when people employed and the economy is friendly. But in an environment that is not secure, investors are deterred from coming to invest, and of course saving is rich, and the rest is with regard to growth economy. So we have that combination particular. From I have with me policy Rahim. To him is public event.
Morning.
We have very close to me as an expert, Dr. Good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so let us start from you. The issue of insecurity coupled with coup in Niger, where ECOWAS series of meetings is not going to allow that to continue. They have had a discussion that the bloc will no longer, accept, a system of government that is not, based on democracy. But just after that, when ECOWAS, elected its chairman, of course we know it's President Tinubu, not we in Niger, we saw the coup in Niger. But the good thing, there was no bloodshed, but that is not the same that economy, that country actually voted for. There is a democratic president who has been ousted, and ECOWAS is not happy with that. Of course, we have seen persons engaging with it to see how issues can be resolved. So, to hear your point.
Good morning and good morning, viewers. In the way, when there must be dialogue, and after the whole dialogue, I happen to be a professional because I was military. I was in Liberia, I was in Yugoslavia. What happened in, Mali, they want to coup. ECOWAS did not react to that. Guinea, Conakry, they want on that. The same thing. Burkina Faso won coup within 2 months, 2 times. And ECOWAS could not react at that time. Though that time, the chairman, it was a Guinea. So I think as they active now, they show that me, personally, military, senior military officer, I'm not happy and I'm against military rule for now. Possible. They shouldn't mean for democracy. They can vote councillor, they can vote chairman, they can vote house of rep, they can vote senator, and have debate, put a law. But in the military, whatever the president has to army council, nobody can oppose it, whether you like it or not, they go on it. So I'm happy as even the military army staff and chief of defense staff, they say they are ready. So I think that ginger led to a president is not the way he make that moral say no. The next option is to go for rescue and then to make sure we restore that government. The Junjota stay aside and then look at what happened. It's not even the senior military officer there. It's not even the chief of army staff. It's just like the way you have brigade of guard command. Like now we have a brigade commander. It's their general. What President Bola Ahmed Tinubu come, he changed him and bring a colonel. Because before you are commander, that person must be trusted to you. But that person, mind you, on 10 years, going to 15 years, with Muhammad Yusuf. And if you watch very well, the Muhammad Yusuf will be able to make any move to restore peace. Then, going further again, in Niger Republic, I happen to know the place very well. From Jori Hamman is a Zabarma. that is from that Bozo side. Seni Kunche is from there. Ali Saibu is there. Wonke is there. So if you calculate the people who rule from their northern side, only Tanja and this Yusuf, then that is and just a local police test. So what I see is that there's a certain group in that Niger. If you are not on that group, no way. Then you see, I watch the way the Jota receive people who are Islamic scholars, and he say he accept for discussion, which is very good. Because in war between Niger and Nigeria, the northern part will be affected. Not the same sister, the same father, the same mother, who is married in Niger. She has a grandchildren. So if they have a will have it, and then it is border. The relation, and if you enter Niger now, the more you enter is like you are in Nigeria. So me, I'm at dialogue, but I stand by democratic, not because notice a plan. How does they carry somebody who's working in a child? Banker. He was a finance minister during Tanja. I as a prime minister immediately. That coup did already. And then the president is a mistake. What do you think you reshuffle all the guard, all brigade of guard, even the brigade commander, even the GOC? Look at how they shape everybody, bring another set. Then he was using the other method. So that person, if you have any grudge against you, you apply that because they are and that. So me, I am happy with that dialogue, and they should make sure don't that democracy president elect. That is Mamadou Basso.
Okay, let me Ben Okunle. Let's get your remark on this.
Yeah, I think the first thing is that it's an ECOWAS affair, not in Nigeria affair. That should be also more of an action to restore order, not a declaration of war, which is more like, look, guys, you have tampered with the wrong law, the setting. If you don't, we may need to and force to restore order, not to declare war. But in Nigeria, we can understand. The 4 million people are the citizens in Nigeria. Over 12 million of them are Hausa by tribe. About 2 million are Fulani by tribe. About another 1.5 million are by tribe. Now, in the northern fringe of Nigeria, Fulani, Hausa, and Kanu are obviously the dominant tribe. So it tells you that between Nigeria and border, there are actually no border of human. It's just a physical line, because they will be cousins, they will be brothers, and they will be sisters. So we can send sentiment running in people saying, look, you can't go attacking my brother. Again, first start by the misinformation of a declaration of war. And as for the junta, you could see them taking some action that shows people who are not well informed. The arrogance of Shiani having been general, having been there for 11 years in the presidential guard, had given him the issue of do everything to us. Like I said, very clearly, I think that Bozo committed in leaving a man in charge of the guard for 9 years to continue when he came in. You know that 2 days to the coup, he actually called a meeting to announce that he is planning this. And I think that was wrong. That placed him, not announce a plan. Listen, to 2 days after, decide to do what? To lock him. So, it's a difficult situation. Him coming to threaten ECOWAS, I will kill him, I think also shows the level of. If he kills Bozo, the UN will not leave him, the international agency will not leave him, so you can be sure that that statement was arrogant and to an extent lack content, right? It's preemptive. You can threaten everybody. Because you need to allow a religion. The answer is no. Now in Niger, you have the US presence, you have the French presence. In Mali, you have the Wagner mercenaries. They are also entering into Burkina Faso. So eventually, we are leaving Western powers to come and use Africa as a sitting ground. And once they can have confusion, it's whether it is not gold or anything of such, to actually take it we don't pay was the highest crisis. Nigeria should be important to the entire north of the north. Bulk of our transaction with the rest of Africa go through Niger. That's the idea. Whether you are taking onions out of the country or whatever you go from to Benin before you can access the market in Ghana, in Cote d'Ivoire, in Syria alone. But the reality point is there is a blockade against Niger. That means that those goods that travel Niger chance. Now, again, like we said, in our north regions, you've got Hausa, Fulani, and Kanuri as dominant tribe. Niger has those three as well. So it might, you take a goose Niger, somebody shall insist on the fact that the origin of that group is Niger, and if all things and the rest on the road for too long, they are perishable items, be totally lost. So for us, there is economic implication, there is social implication, there is security implication. If Niger is unstable, the fact that they have rebels in Niger fuel part of the crisis in our northern fringes. Because you hear some of the arson, we call them arson, we call them terrorists, and some of them actually are international in nature. They cross from Niger, they come back. And so we need to therefore be concerned that there is peace in Niger.
Here that it is not between Nigeria and Niger. It is between
ECOWAS
and
Niger.
Nigeria is part of
ECOWAS.
And funny enough, it is sharing that block, but that needs to be made. Now, the implication. Already, Nigeria, as it is now, prices of goods and services are skyrocketing. You know, and didn't you know, getting, of course, this, we call them the Ubers taxified.
Yeah.
It used to be 300, 400, you know, to it's of about 4 or 5 years. Now that price has doubled. If you are going to join, you know, the normal tax, say from Mara to the city center, or from Kobo to the city center, the price also has doubled. Now we talk about items. You know, how much is vegetable oil, how much perishable, the onions and tomatoes, everything. This issue is going on between the ECOWAS and Niger, and you know, with the sanction, we have seen those in the northern axis have lost about 13 billion a week because of the sanction. So let's get to hear from you what all these can lead to.
Thank you very much. By saying instability in Niger is dramatic instability in our economy and our social well-being. So I must also state categorically that the prices of food has actually, inflation has actually been increasing because because you agree that the rate of the that up in a way, and I must say it's not very funny actually. A step out of these premises today, if before now you pay, let's say 200 naira, like to move from one distance to another, paying 500 naira now, and if you look at what's happening on our roads now, you see that the movement of vehicles has reduced drastically. Over 50% of vehicles are no more on the road, and it affects the GDP, gross domestic product of the country, and that is all bringing all together affects the development of the all in all. So the waves are multi-dimensional. Look at it as food price transport system, prices of all these have been out, and these are basic things of life that as an average person will say, oh, these are the things I need to survive as a person. And if those things are being taken away, all get to easily as a lot of coming in, and that is on a keg of gunpowder, because whether you like survival instinct will start setting in and will start taking into their hand, they will start trying to survive. So we find ourselves as a country. It's actually unfortunate. I must also say the system that we operate also contributes to that. Because like we are having some conversation with some friends who are saying never really need it. But I beg to disagree with us that not everybody is feeling it. The kind of system is elitist. And despite the fact people worthy people in the affairs of the country, parent free on money. And you listen to what the Senate President was saying a few days ago. Going on, you have to give them stipend to survive within that period. Who is going to Nigeria to survive? And they have access to different things that because they have access to, and they don't really do what we are feeling. If they are feeling it, they are cushioning it. They are divided by to push effect on them, and they don't act the way we feel it. And I feel that's the way they react. They do the way they do. They don't react to issues the way they should. And there's process to everything. If you want to come up with a policy, there should be mechanism to actually cushion the effect of the policy you are bringing on board. Things don't happen in the country. And I can also see a disconnect within our institutions and research and governance in the country. A lot of just necessarily come up with different research ideas, different solutions to problems, socioeconomic solutions in the country. And where is the implementation?
Yeah, but as we have been told that money is in the coffers of government, and of course we heard how much was shared back over 900. Why is that money not reflecting in the economy?
Why we are discussed, because I can tell you that it's not only for government that is sharing from fact. We have government that are also sharing from government that are sharing.
Money is not reflecting.
But if I want to the weeks back, to look at what is happening there, it's not really shared that amount of in the previous month. And where ability and transparency of those. And I also want to say that we have a very dogmatic citizenry, I won't lie to us. In some clients, government.
Now, let me hold you there and come back to Dr. Grozi. You know, when it comes to analysis, do it within what system allows, what the rate of the MBs allows, right? Our fast, maybe a time. What is the way
on the economy?
Yes, no, on the security.
One of the things I want the people and the public to understand, Tunumbu, because I had them so many things in Nigeria when fight Tunumbu. The Fukom, how come the area? That time it is even during Babangida, and I again, go back again, about 21 during Abacha. It is not Tunumbu, it's ECOWAS business. ECOWAS country is a law by any other member country. It's just like NATO when you have European Union. So that AU. So when you have that type of business, you have to react. You have nothing to do than to react. If you feel is going about is banned by the Constitution of. So I want people to understand that it's not to Nigeria acting, ECOWAS acting against what is not good for our nation. That's not good for us. Democrats and people go where the security will be able to be influenced now. You can they can move away from the Niger, which is another group, to the north, because if that person now perform anything because you want to turn ammunition.
So do you see dialogue solve issue?
Dialogue will solve it, but the dialogue we need now is hit the military. You see, you can see some people, captain, come Burkina Faso, say they are ready to Mali, coming to Guinea Conakry, also the military. You know why? It is when you have a dog that doesn't bite. When you see they are beating the other to start, so that he will not become to him, because they know the next thing they will come to them. One, all those who are military president in another country, they should drop and make election immediately. That is my take.
Okay, so let's get to hear your final words.
Yeah, on Niger, I think the sanctions tends to be working. No doubt about that. Niger is up. They can be very big. About 70% of border is with Algeria, Chad, and Nigeria. So if the three have refused to support them, the chances are that the sanctions and over time, therefore, they will no choice. I think that the rented those the military, the coup now, when the issues are down in the next 2 weeks, they will have their faces because hunger would have come upon them. And of course, on the issue of our own economy, decisions must be based on data. The reality is that we don't have courts. How many local government can tell us these are these that we are? These are the farmers that use cocoa. These are the farmers that produce. These are the farmers that are into wheat. When you have those records, then CBN can now say, okay, we are supporting farming and we can actually be down. Not giving the money to some fully owner or some politicians, and in the end, it doesn't get down. If we want it to get down, we must sit down on our data. We must sit down on our records.
But how can we talk to some part of this country, but those in the north, for going out, protesting, of course, telling him Tinubu that you cannot, embark on war with me. We need them to know about things can that be done.
Well, the press will need to continue to marshal that argument that this is an ECOWAS Niger affair. This is, if they all have got their states, how happy will they be if the police commissioner decide to take over and remove the governor and the commissioner? The governor they have elected and the commissioners they have appointed. I think the press need to make them have an understanding of that. But like I said, your emotional sentiment to be 53% of J, not less than 7% is Fulani, less than 6 is Kanuri. So you expect sentiment in the northern fringe of the nation for anything that affects its mother. We speak the same language and we are cousins.
You have relatives that are there. Yeah, I mean, what is on the ground to tell them it's not about them, it's not about them, these issues, it's even their own country. Because I remember when the president came on board, board and when he was elected clearly that the bloc will not accept any government that is not, democratically, formed. So, what is on ground?
You can see yesterday in Niger, you can see there's some protests. There's a protest against supporting the military. Supporting the military, their opposition. Because they have, I saw the opposition they say from the time they do the election, it was not successful. They say Baso was the chairman of the election board while he's contesting. That is one type of Ahmad Yusuf who contests as a, he say he talked to the former Yusuf. But to what I'm saying is that to my northern brother, this thing is not about Tinubu, it's about help to understand the between the Federal Republic of Nigeria and ECOWAS. He has put that sanction, then also to remove the democratic election. What thing he can do. If Tinubu is the outcome of one way in Liberia, is Tinubu the outcome to Sierra Leone? So they have to understand this. The difference is here is the chairman of he has to speak out. If he doesn't speak out, it means he's not a chairman. He is acting on behalf of ECOWAS, not in Nigeria at all. Which the whole TMI is involved, the whole country. So please the is acting in NATO I give you to fight. To understand this, the more that thing started in Nigeria, so they have to understand, and we should not take it now. We have to dissolve it immediately so that we can have a peace.
Okay, so what way, what should help to that's when?
I think I've said it that government is not the highest employer of labor, and we must agree to that the private sector is for employment within the country as it stands now. Secondly, now there's a conversation on how to intervene on those people under the payroll of government, federal, state, and level. But right now, nobody knows about how the
but why get every day?
Also ask for policy statement that the government has come up and there is, at this point, looking at solutions, looking at actually right now we should be looking at support, sincerely support this medium scale enterprise in the country, because by doing that it increase the salaries they will be paying.
Yeah, it's broken about that extensively.
Yes,
I mean over 100 billion naira has been set aside.
That's why I say sincerely. A lot of statements like that have been made, and you realize that money is now finding their way into the private pockets of people that are business. You get? I mean, government should sincerely implement that. I think that will have a repercussive effect. I mean, perfect on them. Or income into people's pockets on the standard of living, and about that, the power parity of people increase, and that in a way positively on the economy, and we see a little improvement on what we are facing now as a country. Because I feel a lot because we've neglected the small and scale enterprise a lot of time. We allow them to you need to try this, so the government have no business in business. But then we forget these are people to pay out. A lot of times these people they even multiple tax them. We're having issues of multiple tax where you see a small scale enterprise paying more than the number of taxes he is supposed to pay because of government regulation and interview. So if government you want a change or improvement in what the economy is looking at, like right now, you need to actually sincerely support this medium enterprise.
Ben, I see you want to start on how can we actually have this thing done in such a way.
When you have listened to the president's speech, he came to the 774 local government, he was talking to the and the FCT. But the reality is that, do we have any data bank can actually say in particular what This is the number of small-scale enterprises. This is the number of farmers. This is the number of people who are into any form of work. And then you can now define what support. I heard people say 50,000 is not a meaningful thing for very small business. I did. With 50,000 you can start an Indomie business. With 50,000 you can distribute bread. With 50,000 you might not be able to start medium to medium, but at least that can turn around. Somebody that wants to sell pure water and minerals, 50,000 make a name. But we need to record who are these people across all the wards, across the federal constituencies, across the state district, across local government. When you have that and you are disbursing the money, then it becomes easier to know the trade. And then you can better. Talking about tax, are we a tax efficient? The answer is no. So many people who should pay tax are actually not paying. But where you have the right then give the incentives, and then it becomes possible. If you have banned every business that you are giving loan to, and you are giving support to, it becomes easier also to monitor them for proper tax payment, monitor them for growth. But the fact that we do not have the right data makes our decision-making processes ineffective, and therefore our tax system and development goals are inefficient.
I must thank you all for your time with us on the program this morning. Thank you, Dr. Garus Golulu, for your time, and Ben Ogunlui. Thank you so much, Obayemi. Thank you all for sharing. That's the much we have from each